Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for this update from your coronavirus headquarters. I'm Tyler Jobe. President Trump is pushing back on news reports that the White House Coronavirus Task Force is winding down. He now says it will go on indefinitely, but he says it will be changing. Skylar Henry has more details from the White House.
President Trump is honoring National Nurses Day and says America is defeating the coronavirus.
It's a tough opponent, but we're winning, and we're starting to see our country come back. It's been a very exciting few days. We're starting to see it all come back.
During a trip to Phoenix Tuesday, the president acknowledged the coronavirus task force will be undergoing a change.
We're now looking at a little bit of a different form, and that form is safety and opening, and we'll have a different group probably set up for that.
This comes as new models show opening up states will lead to more deaths from the coronavirus.
We can't keep our country closed for the next 5 years. You know, you could say there might be a recurrence, and there might be, and most doctors or some doctors say that it will happen, and it'll be a flame, and we're going to put the flame out.
President Trump tweeted this morning the task force will continue to work on vaccines, and Vice President Pence adds it'll also stockpile medical supplies for recurrences of the virus. President Trump was asked about the shortage of supplies during an interview with ABC News Tuesday.
Don't forget, the cupboard was bare. The other administration, the last administration, left us nothing.
But Dr. Rick Bright, who led the government agency in charge of vaccines, says he raised alarms in January and was ignored. Bright filed a whistleblower complaint alleging he told his superiors that the U.S. was woefully short on N95 masks and suggested putting together a disaster leadership group to address the pandemic. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Dr. Bright is now scheduled to testify before the House Energy and Commerce Committee next Thursday to discuss his whistleblower complaint. Here's a quick look at the latest numbers in Wisconsin right now. More than 8,500 people have tested positive for COVID-19 and 353 people have died. Over 4,100 people, almost half the cases in the state, have recovered. In our area, Trempealeau County is reporting 1 new case. No new cases are being reported in La Crosse, Jackson, or Monroe counties at this time. Crawford County Public Health is reporting no new positive cases. Crawford County officials warn that results from all 350 workers who are being tested at Prairie Industries are not yet included in the county's numbers. The Wisconsin Army National Guard is testing the workers for COVID-19. It comes in response to a potential outbreak at the plant. Officials say the virus first appeared from 2 employees working the same shift on April 24th. There are now 9 positive cases within the plant. All facilities are temporarily closed until officials get a good idea of how much the disease is spreading.
If the results show that our programs are working and that it is not spreading within the facility, and we know the positives are now held out, we may open next week.
Crawford County at one point had no new cases for nearly 20 days. Outside Wisconsin, a 4th death is being reported in Allamakee County in Iowa, and 1 new case is being reported in Winona County in Minnesota. In the entire state of Minnesota, there are more than 7,800 infections and 455 people have died. The 728 new cases reported is the largest one-day total in the pandemic. In some good news, though, 4,600 people in the state no longer need to self-isolate. And in Iowa, more than 10,000 people have tested positive, 207 have died, and more than 3,500 have recovered. Festival Foods is reporting a disruption in the meat supply chain because of processing plant closures. The grocery store is limiting shoppers to 2 packages of ground beef. In a statement released to News 8 Now, a director for Festival Foods says, quote, "In order to provide product to as many of our shopping guests as possible, limits have been applied to the products that are affected. As the supply chain recovers, these limits will be discontinued as quickly as possible," end quote. And Hy-Vee is also putting a limit on customers' meat purchases. There's a limit of 4 packages of beef, pork, and chicken. The limit will be in place at all locations starting today. In a statement, a spokesperson for Hy-Vee says, quote, "We have product available at our stores, but due to worker shortages at plants as well as an increase in meat sales, customers may not find the specific items they are looking for," end quote. As the coronavirus pandemic continues and some restrictions in Wisconsin are being relaxed, face masks are becoming more important for all of us. But there is a group of volunteers in southwestern Wisconsin that is doing its best to make sure those who need masks get them. They call themselves Face Mask Warriors. They supply their time and material and have already delivered nearly 1,200 masks in our 7-county area free of charge. But even if you can't sew, there are ways you can help.
The initial drive of the Wisconsin Face Mask Warriors was to provide masks, PPE, to the most vulnerable. So your medical workers, your EMS, first responders, things like that. Now it's starting to make a turn as these facilities have been able to order PPE through government or their ordering chain. Now the drive now is to make sure that the people have masks so they can go out and shop, go to doctor's appointments and things like that.
Masks can be requested via a link on the Wisconsin Face Mask Warriors Facebook page. If you can donate any material, here is a list of drop-off sites in Coon Valley, Chaseburg, and Tomah. Thank you so much for joining us for this coronavirus update. We hope you can join us tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Take care now.